All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about one of the most confusing, exciting, and universal journeys we all take, growing up.
You know that feeling? Maybe you go away for the summer, and when you come back, everything just feels different. Like you've suddenly shot up in height and nothing is quite the same as it was?
Well, guess what? You're not imagining it. That feeling is totally real. It's a natural process, a journey that has a name, adolescence. It can be a pretty weird time, right? You're not a little kid anymore, but you're not exactly an adult either. And that's exactly what we're going to break down. Think of this as your map for that journey.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is this transformation, and what's causing it to happen right now?
So first, the big picture. Adolescence is the whole transition period from being a kid to being an adult. It's like the bridge between those 2 points in your life. It usually kicks off around age 11 and can go all the way up to 18 or 19. And because it covers all the teen years, we also call people going through it teenagers.
Now, inside that big journey of adolescence is a key process called puberty. You can think of puberty as the engine that's driving all the physical changes. It's the part of the process that makes your body capable of reproduction, and it's when things get really noticeable. So how does all this actually show up? Let's take a look at the most obvious physical signs that puberty is underway.
The source material we're looking at gives a great example we can all relate to. It mentions how some friends seem to have suddenly shot up in height. That growth spurt? It's often the very first and most obvious sign.
But here's the thing. This growth happens at different speeds for different people. This chart shows you the percentage of your final adult height you've reached by a certain age, and you can see right away the numbers are different for boys and girls at almost every stage. Let's zoom in on one of those key moments.
Look here. At age 11, girls on average have already hit about 88% of their final height, while boys are around 81%. This is exactly why, in a lot of middle school classes, you'll notice the girls are temporarily taller than the boys. It's all just a matter of timing in a perfectly normal process.
And during this time, it's also really common to feel a little, well, out of proportion. You might feel like your hands and feet are suddenly huge, or that your body is growing way faster than your face.
And here's the most important part. This is completely normal. There's absolutely no need to worry. Your body parts just don't all grow at the exact same speed. Sometimes your arms and legs get a head start, but everything else catches up pretty quickly, leaving you with a body that's totally proportionate. So, besides just getting taller, a lot of other things are changing. For boys, their shoulders get broader. For girls, their hips widen. A boy's voice will start to deepen because the larynx, which you can see as the Adam's apple, is growing. And for everyone, things get more active. Your sweat and oil glands ramp up, which sometimes causes acne. And new hair starts growing in different places. So what's the secret force making all of this happen? What's pulling all the strings? Well, it's time to meet the chemical messengers that are working behind the scenes, your hormones. You can think of it like a really simple chain of command. It all starts in the brain with something called the pituitary gland. It's kind of like the master gland. It sends out a signal. That signal travels down to the testes in boys or the ovaries in girls. When they get the signal, they release specific hormones, testosterone for boys, estrogen for girls, into the bloodstream. And those hormones are what tell the body to start making all those changes we just talked about. So all of these changes, driven by all these hormones, are ultimately leading to one thing: reproductive maturity. Let's take a quick look at the science of how this all works.
For females, these hormones kick off the reproductive phase of life with the very first menstrual flow, which is called menarche. This cycle, menstruation, then continues about once a month until a later stage in life called menopause, which usually happens around age 45 to 50.
Now, while we're on the topic of reproduction, it's the perfect time to bust a really old and harmful myth using some simple science. So let's answer the question: how is a baby's sex actually determined?
It all comes down to chromosomes. Here's the key. A mother's egg always contributes an X chromosome. Always. A father's sperm, on the other hand, can carry either an X or a Y chromosome. And that little difference is everything. So the logic is super simple. If a sperm with an X chromosome fertilizes the egg, the combination is XX, and that results in a girl. If a sperm with a Y chromosome fertilizes the egg, the combination is XY, which results in a boy. The bottom line? The sex of the baby is determined by which chromosome comes from the father.
And our source material says it perfectly and powerfully. The belief that a mother is responsible is completely wrong, and blaming her for it is totally unjustified. The science could not be any clearer on this.
Okay, so understanding the science is step one. But the next step is using that knowledge to stay healthy and really thrive. Let's build your toolkit for the teen years.
To support all of this rapid growth, your body needs good fuel, which makes a balanced diet more important than ever. And since your sweat glands are working overtime, good personal hygiene is key to feeling fresh and comfortable. And finally, physical exercise, walking, playing sports, just getting outdoors, is the best way to keep your changing body strong and healthy. It's a simple checklist, but it's incredibly powerful.
So as we've seen, growing up isn't just a random, chaotic experience. It's a science. It's a predictable, natural process controlled by your biology and your hormones. The real question is, now that you know how it all works, how will you use this knowledge to navigate your own journey and build a healthy, confident future?